Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. Today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how to maximize every second, every lap of practice in preparation for league racing, competitive racing, and some of the structures that I do as well in preparation for the F1 Esports World Championship. This will also apply to make you faster in general as well. Maybe you're trying to work towards 110% AI in career mode or whatever your target is. I believe that this practice schedule and routine can help you improve. So I'm going to be showing you exactly what I would be doing off a 3-hour time basis, time slot on how I would improve, and hopefully that will help you today. By the end of this video, you have a fully ready time schedule, practice routine that can help you improve as well. So the first part that I'm going to be getting into is time trial. Time trial is fantastic for getting acclimatized with the track, braking points, and the overall setup feel of the racing car. You can see I did a lap here on the 15th of the 9th, what is approximately putting me just over a 10th away from the world record. So I'm fairly well accustomed here. I have a good feeling of the track. So what we're going to be doing is taking the world record setup from Fabrizio Donoso and just quickly scanning over it to see the characteristics of the setup, to see if it feels good, bad, or whatever it can be. But the overall feeling I have from looking at this setup initially is, of course, it's a little bit oversteery, but will be pretty good to use as a baseline to get myself accustomed with this track. The first step of practice for me is always going into time trial, getting myself used to the track, the braking points, the turning points, and overall every nuanced detail that I can learn in a very compact amount of time. Trying different lines, trying different curving, and trying different driving styles for every corner. Like turn 1, what is better? Is it better to go wide here, or is it better to go tight here? So I went wide on the initial entry, so I'm going to use the flashback feature now, and I'm going to be able to try out a different racing line into turn 1 with minimal time lost. So now I'm going to be keeping the car nice and tight here, so keeping a better minimum distance around the corner. And I can tell you from experience that is really faster, but that takes time, experience, and knowledge to learn and process. So using the flashback feature will help you minimize time loss and maximize learning time and learning experience as well. The other thing that I'm looking out for in time trial is new inventive lines about what can work, what can't work. So maybe I want to try use this inside curbing. Oh, it doesn't actually feel too bad. Maybe I want to use this inside curbing again. Understeers me off the corner. And maybe I want to use it on the inside here. Or the outside. Oh, no, the car bottoms out. And again, the car will be bottoming out on this outside curbing as well, halting the acceleration process. So, overall, you can see I'm able to try out very aggressive, very different lines about, is this working? No, that's slower. Okay, what can be faster? What can be better? And this is the majority of what I use time trial for, is to understand all the process and key details about what would be happening. If I only had 3 hours to prepare for a league race, like some of you might do at home if you're coming home from school, work, or whatever your day activities are, then this is the process that I would be doing. I would be doing about half an hour of time trial to get myself fully warmed up, ready on the track, know the braking points, know the curving points, and overall getting myself in a really comfortable place. So, we're going to apply what we've learned. So, keep the car tight through turn 1. Into the apex, beautifully done. Keep the car tight again on the exit of turn 2 to minimize the distance on the exit. Small snap of oversteer. Have to watch out for that come qualifying and race simulation practice so I don't wear out the rear tires too much. Tight hairpin, focus on the exit. Don't use the inside curb, don't use the outside curb. Okay, the inside curb actually felt pretty decent this time round, or last time round I should say. Use that again, hug the tight, open up the corner as much as possible. Once again, don't use that exit curbing. It bottomed out the car, maybe understeer last lap. And again, don't use too much that exit curbing again. Don't use the sausage curb on the inside. And then let my car rotate through. Small rear lockup under the braking. Again, don't use the curbing on the outside. Be wary of that. Open up the traction, open up the grip onto the back straight. And this is overall what I'm looking for in time trial. I don't really need to go for the world record laps. Sure, it's great for the ego and it makes for a nice feeling. But from a productive standpoint, going for the world record isn't a necessity while practicing for league racing, and your time can be better spent doing other processes, other elements as well. So into the final corner, as you can see now, we came round, and even while doing a live commentary, not focusing at all, was able to do a 30.4, what was, well, just under a second away, just over a second away maybe from the world record as well. So that is a very productive use of my time. So now I feel comfortable and ready to go into a qualifying session, start tweaking the setup, tweaking the race setup as well, and getting myself overall accustomed. So like I say, if you have 3 hours to train for a race, a qualifying session, whatever it may be, I would use 30 minutes on the time trial, and that will allow yourself to be accustomed, ready with the track, and process the information that you need to now jump into qualifying and allow that information to be fully exploited and be fully ready to go forward. So I'm going to be starting a new GP session. I would recommend going into an offline qualifying session, even if it's against the AI, as this will give you a very good stable platform to constantly do those session restarts and use your time to its maximum efficiency possible. So for me, these would be the settings that I would be going to do practice with. Of course, all assists turned off, 110% AI. I would like to do short qualifying most of all, and let's say we're training for a 50% race, so the race will be set to 50%. Clear on the weather, really important, to be honest, that is allowed and that is put there. Otherwise it can rain and disrupt your practice session and lose efficiency of time. I put the rules and flags to corner cutting only. I'll show you why later. Park Ferme rules are going to be turned off so I can change the setup. Formation lap turned off, mainly because league racing we don't have formation lap, so I don't need that on. Weekend tire allocation, put that to softer so you get an extra set of soft tires, and that'll make your practice a bit more efficient. Again, replicate your league racing or whatever your scenario is, replicate it here so you can have the best efficiency of program going forward. So now we have put in the settings correctly and we have inputted what our league racing settings would be into this, so we have the most accurate baseline possible. So now we are in short qualifying. What I would do is go through a process of starting to warm up, feel how the car gets its grip, how it loses grip, how it develops over a qualifying lap of its grip profile, and then learn to exploit that and gain time overall with a hidden secret, what I'm going to be showing you later on in this exact qualifying session that you can use at home as well. So now you can see we are on track and coming up to start our first flying lap. We have got a lot of clean air. We have to somewhat hope that the AI won't come out the pit lane and block us, but of course this is the risk that we can run, of course, while running the AI. But even still, while having that, is probably more efficient than using online lobbies for the time being, as this will allow you to restart the session whenever you need. So, first lap of qualifying, what am I going to be looking for? I'm going to be looking for the car balance and how the tyre temperature affects the grip, also tyre wear. So turn 1. Okay, the car balance is feeling pretty good already. Seems like we have a good baseline or setup already applied. And now you can see the car is understeering a little bit, but overall it's producing good traction and grip profile for me to bounce off the corner with. Down into the hairpin. You can see I'm already being a lot more smooth from time trial, because the time trial, the tyre temperatures are not turned on, so you can slide the car as much as you want and it won't overheat the tyres, whereas in short qualifying and racing scenario, the tyres can be overheated. You can see the car is just a bit more unpredictable in these areas because of the tyre temperature, and that is what I'm learning to master and gaining the information in my brain about what to do better for next lap. So already what I'm thinking about is how is the car moving around, what's happening with it, where is the grip being lost and where is the grip being gained. So already in my mind I'm thinking, okay, the car was a bit loose in the middle sector, it didn't give me the confidence to throw the car into the apex, and overall I could gain a lot of time from there. The traction was good, the stability was nice, so I'm going to be looking to think about how I can build upon that and develop that going forward. One final corner of this lap, and I'm going to show you why you should put the rules to corner cutting only. It's a bit of a trick that you'll see every F1 esports driver use. We come across the line, finish the lap, and because the rules are set to corner cutting only, we can actually drive backwards on the track and get that to the pit lane in approximately 30 seconds, rather than having to do the full in-lap, what will take us 1 minute, 2 minutes as well. And before you know it, we can be back in the pit lane, ready to adjust the car setup, ready to make the changes that we need to make, and that has saved us about 2 minutes of session time and real life time as well. The huge benefit of that is when you have a limited amount of time to practice, like this 3-hour allotted slot that we're pretending to be in right now, like you might be at home with your practice and schedule because of work, school, whatever it may be. This allows you to save an extra lap of practice by doing this. Whereas if you did your in-lap, you have literally wasted a lap of practice. So I'm going to sit here, think about what I'm going to change on the setup, and then go back out on track. So we have now thought about it, changed the setup of the car to make it a bit more stable in that high-speed area of the track. For obvious reasons, as much as I want to help you at home, and I'm doing my best to help you as well with the information that I can share, I cannot show my exact setup changes right now because we are in the middle of the F1 esports season and preparation is strong. So as much as I would love to show you everything that I can to help you improve at home, right now I have to be a bit sensitive about the information that I can share and be respectful to the NDAs and the team that I have around me to make sure that I'm not leaking any of our direct setup information that can be helping us to win and achieve great results on track. But with that being said, we are now back on track with slight changes, and I cannot express enough, I'm trying my best to help you. I really want to do my best to help you at home to improve, but of course I have to be slightly sensitive about the information that I can directly share about setups regarding around F1 esports and mine and the team performances as well. So with that being said, the second lap that I'm going on here is I'm going to be doing another learning and exploring lap on how I can sort of improve from last time. So the car was unstable in the high speed corners in the middle sector, and that is really where I'm focusing my energy. The car was good on traction. It is still good on traction. I'm breaking down these little elements in my mind. I've actually improved my first sector by marginal amounts, purple in fact. So what I'm looking now is the car handling better? Is it more consistent? Am I more confident? And all of those answers so far have been yes. As we go through the middle sector, now we're going to throw it in. Now we're going to get the real test. And you can see actually the car is so much more planted. It's so much more predictable. It's so much more confident, inspiring. And we have already found a 10.5 on our delta, going purple in the middle sector once again. And you can see, comparing to last lap, the car is so much more confidence inspiring. We have a small slap of oversteer as we try to get under power, but that can just me being greedy, to be honest. So we're coming down the straight, and then we're going to opening DRS, coming down to the hairpin, and now I feel like this setup is in a really good, stable place for me to learn and develop on. Remember, you can spend all of your time changing your setup, finding half attempt in your setup development, or you can get back and actually learn and drive 3 attempts faster yourself. There's a constant balance of evolution between having a stronger setup and a stronger driving style as well. So with all of that being said, I'm going to be showing you the next feature, which is one of the greatest things that you can do in league racing, F1 esports training, any training at all that can help you get faster. So this is one of the greatest tricks that you can use to save time, be more efficient and fast as well. It's called the mid-session save, and what this is going to do is allow you to save your car right now with 3 minutes left on the board. We're just going to do quickly a quick outlap so I can show you in a really quick, efficient manner about why this is so powerful. So right now, we have gone out to track and we've got 50 seconds left on the board. Plenty of time to get to the start-finish line. And we are going to be using this opportunity to basically set a lap. And I'm going to show you why it is so outrageously, insanely, amazingly powerful to train for league racing. So I'm going to set this lap and I'll catch you at the end of the lap. So now we are coming towards the end of our practice lap here in qualifying. The session has finished. We are coming around the final corner, opening DRS, finishing the lap, and we're able to do a lap time, but for this example, the lap time is just 30.0, what is rather irrelevant comparing to the example that I'm showing you. for the necessary needs. So, the session has finished. Normally, you would have to do a full session again, and see, it loads you in with 1756 on the board. So you have to do a full qualifying again. Maybe not. Go to mid-session save, load your session, and now we are back at 3 minutes. And if we do quick outlap again and save ourselves another minute and a half, 2 minutes from not having to do the outlap, oh, we're exactly in the same place, with exactly the same conditions, with exactly the same everything, and that allows us to do multiple things. If we go back and do the mid-session save, you can also do this in the middle of your qualifying lap if you don't feel like the setup is good. So you can come back, change the setup of the car, do whatever setup tweaks that you want to do, maybe anti-roll bar, suspension, wing, anything that you want to do, then go back, go on track, and then you'll be back ready in an instant, in a click of a finger. You'll be back ready on track to develop yourself some more, to find some more lap time. And here is the real beauty of it as well, is I normally don't drive this on, so I'm going to turn it on very briefly for you as well. On-screen display, delta time. I normally don't have a delta time on the top right of my screen, just purely because I can find it distracting. But I do have one on my steering wheel, what you can see, what will come up when we go over the start finish line, so we'll stay in cockpit. So, come around the final corner, open up DRS, and you'll see a delta time will appear at the top of the screen and on my steering wheel. So, it works like time trial, that I can have a live delta time to test my setup changes compared to my previous lap, and have a direct one-to-one comparison of track conditions, track evolution, grip, and setup changes as well. Whereas before, if you're comparing a setup change from 12 minutes in the session to 10 minutes in the session, the track would have changed, it would have evolved, the grip would have been different. But like this, I can see exactly on the delta time, how much time am I gaining on the straight, how much time am I losing in the corner, does this wing difference make me faster or does it make me slower, does this racing line work or not? And this allows me so much more detail to understand where to improve. So I'm going to show you exactly why this is so powerful. I'm going to make a mistake on the exit of this corner. I'm going to run wide, and then you're going to see, like, if I go on the curbing, okay, I lose time, and you can see it instantly. Instantly, you see that I lose 3.5 tenths compared to my previous lap. So I can see exactly where I'm gaining, losing, what I'm doing better, what I'm doing worse. So, with all of this being said, what I would advise doing is, with that 3-hour time slot, I would advise doing this qualifying routine for probably in an hour and a half of your 3-hour time slot. So this will bring you up to a 2-hour total, and this will basically mean that you have done 30 minutes of time trial, an hour and a half of qualifying practice, and qualifying is so important to your racing position. To be honest, of course, it's where the grid is set, and this will allow you to grow and develop in a really good way. And then I would do 1 hour of race practice. I would go into the grid, understand what the game defines as the optimal strategy, and then practice on that tire from the optimal strategy. So, as you can see, we go into the game and it says that doing a soft medium is the most optimal strategy possible. So if you do not have any more information, if you do not have any more knowledge from previous races, whatever might be happening, teammates, I would practice whatever your preferred strategy is, whether it can be medium soft, soft medium, soft hard, whatever the strategy may be. And if you do not have any prior information, normally the game is pretty good at giving you a default strategy, and I would just practice driving on this. So I would do one full race simulation that will take around 40 to 50 minutes depending on the track. And then this will allow you to be in the zone, in the flow, and have the appropriate time to do it as well. Oh, Sonoda's going for a move up the inside. He's done the move up the inside. And this is also a really efficient way to practice, understand your racing situation, and to maximize every element that you can imagine before going into the race. So So, like I say, this will be a really efficient way as we're coming towards the end of the first lap, and Shinoda's got a massive run on me. I'm going to have to defend. But this is a really efficient way to do at least one race simulation without wasting time, not having to wait for other people to set up lobbies, not having to depend on other people like this. You can do your race simulation, maximize your efficiency, and then jump into your league race or competitive race. With the time limitations that you have, this 3-hour scenario, this will be as efficient as I can imagine, at least. I have done this routine plenty of times to get ready for a session, for a race, and I truly believe that this can be helping you to develop as well. One final thing that I'm going to mention is also the rain. So on some tracks, you won't really need to practice the rain, to be honest. Tracks like Bahrain, Qatar, Abu Dhabi, there's not really any chance of the rain. So you don't need to practice it. If you have some spare time and you need 5-10 minutes to just relax, whatever, feel free. The way that I would practice the rain in a time limited scenario is I would jump on, again, going back over to China, put the car performance to equal. I would do a short race of 5 laps. Okay, we're going to do very wet for this example, was full wet conditions. And then I would basically do the 5-lap race, and that 5-lap intuition will give you basically a low fuel feeling, so it can be good for qualifying practice, and then it also will give you 5 laps of experience that can give you a good indication and feeling towards how the car will feel in a racing scenario as well. So like I say, 5-lap race, what means the fuel is quite low, but also high enough that you can start to get a feeling for the race, but not so high that you don't have a feeling for qualifying. As you can see, we've got a very bad start, to be honest. So practicing those dynamics will definitely be useful for me as well. So with all of that being said, the final thing to be doing in this practice routine would be doing a 5-lap intermediate race, and that'll allot and fully block out your 3-hour time slot and allow you to be as efficient as possible going forward. Like I say, this is a routine that I often did as I spun off into the wall. Oh, I didn't actually hit the wall. That was a very nice save in the end. For some reason my force back isn't working, so you can literally see me just like turning it with no force at all. That is a glitch in the game, unfortunately, but yeah, this is my tips and tricks on how you can find yourself as efficiently as possible to use a 3-hour time slot to practice for your league racing. You can scale it up or scale it down as well. So instead of having 3 hours, you maybe only have an hour and a half. Just keep the aspect ratios of the practice times the same, and I think you should be okay. Again, this is just my advice. This is what has worked for me in my career. If you have different opinions, feel free to comment them below, or if you have different ways of practicing yourself, what you know are efficient for your own mentality, great. I'm happy for you. Do what you need to do to be fast, and this has been Brendon Leigh. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Gracias, ciao, ciao, bye bye.